The collection traces this slow, often agonizing unraveling from within. It captures what it genuinely felt like to love, to question everything, to break apart.
And then finding a way through.
And then, eventually to begin to see clearly. You'll find these profound themes of trauma, deeply tangled with love, loss, transformation.
Welcome to Witter, Who Has Time to Read, the podcast that brings deep dives for busy minds. You're listening to our Indie Ink Spotlight series, where we lift up bold voices and unsung stories from the world of independent authors. Join our AI hosts, Jane and Dane, as they explore featured works that deserve the mic. From hidden gems to raw revelations, these are the stories that move beneath the mainstream. Who has time to read? You do, with Witter.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
And for today, we've got a very special treat as we open the curtain on our Indie Ink Spotlight series.
Yeah, always excited for these ones.
We're absolutely thrilled to bring you a truly profound work, a book that, wow, it really delves deep into the human heart. It's In the Darkness of Shards by Catherine Anne Castillo.
Mm-hmm.
This collection offers, well, a raw, really intimate glimpse into the winding journey of untangling from a trauma bond.
Right.
And the quiet, powerful process of reclaiming one's voice amidst all that confusion and silence.
It's such an important theme.
It really is. It's a testament, to finding strength through vulnerability, even when the path ahead feels kind of shrouded in shadow. Let's unpack this.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating here is getting to understand Catherine Anne Castillo, not just as an author, but, through her unique personal journey.
Tell us a bit about her.
Well, she's a debut author, yes, but also an entrepreneur and genuinely a creative enthusiast driven by this incredible curiosity. She's originally from Manila in the Philippines, and she kind of embodies what you might call a modern Renaissance woman. Seriously.
Oh, wow. In what way?
She's shown impressive prowess across really diverse fields: healthcare, startups, the arts, innovation, you name it.
That's quite a range.
It really is. And outside of her professional stuff, you find her seeking peace in nature, focusing on self-care, and she's always engaged in lifelong learning.
Sounds incredibly driven.
Yeah, and her ultimate aim, which I think really comes through in her writing, is to inspire others to fully embrace their own unique paths and to, seize opportunities for growth, joy, and adventure, no matter how winding or challenging those paths might be.
And it's so clear that writing hasn't just been like a hobby for Catherine. It's truly been a lifelong anchor, hasn't it?
It seems that way.
She mentioned she's always loved writing letters, scribbles, notes in class. It's just always been there.
A constant companion.
Exactly. For her, putting thoughts on a paper has consistently been her way to, and I quote, make sense of myself and the world around me.
That's powerful.
She calls it profoundly grounding, which is, wow, such a powerful image given the turbulent themes in this book.
Definitely.
In the Darkness of Shards itself, she shares, was specifically born out of the ache of untangling from a trauma-bonded relationship.
That ache.
It became her essential way to reclaim my voice and make sense of the silence and confusion I carried for too long. So it wasn't just creative, it was like survival.
An act of self-discovery, really. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, her independent publishing journey is pretty remarkable, especially for this kind of story.
How so?
Well, she describes hitting publish as feeling both terrifying but freeing.
I can imagine. That paradox says a lot.
Right. And a huge moment for her, she says, was realizing she wasn't just writing for personal closure,
Okay.
but for connection with others. That shift happened when she really accepted that, quote, even unfinished healing is worth sharing.
Wow. That's brave.
She says it changed everything for her. For Catherine, being an indie author isn't just about control. It means getting to tell the truth, unfiltered, unpolished, and fully mine.
That unfiltered truth.
Yeah, and this freedom is so crucial right now because, like she points out, stories like hers about emotional abuse, trauma bonds, they don't always get the spotlight in traditional publishing.
No, they often don't.
So indie publishing gave her the freedom to speak without waiting for permission. And that, to me, is just a powerful statement about why indie voices matter so much today.
Absolutely. And that desire to speak an unfiltered truth, you feel it on every page. of The Darkness of Shards. This isn't just a book. It's like an intensely raw and unflinching collection of poetry.
It really is.
It offers this incredibly intimate glimpse into the internal emotional world, being caught within a trauma bond, even before maybe she had the exact words for it.
Right before the label, perhaps?
Yeah. The collection traces this slow, often agonizing unraveling from within. It captures what it genuinely felt like to love, to question everything, to break apart.
And then finding a way through.
And then, eventually to begin to see clearly. You'll find these profound themes of trauma, deeply tangled with love, loss, transformation, and ultimately self-reclamation, all woven through.
And maybe we should just quickly touch on that term trauma bond for listeners.
Good idea.
Because it's heard more now, but sometimes misunderstood. It isn't just like a difficult relationship.
Right. It's specific.
Exactly. It's a specific psychological thing that happens in abusive relationships. You get these cycles of intense abuse mixed with periods of intense affection or maybe apologies.
That sounds incredibly confusing.
It is. It creates this powerful, confusing, really difficult attachment for the person experiencing it. It can feel almost like an addiction, making it so hard to leave.
Because of those moments of affection.
Yeah, they create this false hope or even gratitude sometimes. So when Catherine talks about untangling from a trauma bond, she's talking about a very specific, deep, complex emotional process.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying that.
Sure. And her voice in this collection, it's marked by such piercing honesty. It comes through in these vivid, evocative verses that just pull you into her internal world.
Would really feel like you're there.
Yeah, it's a deeply personal journey navigating the chaos and confusion of a toxic relationship. The poems capture those insidious nuances of neglect, that aching void of abandonment, and that almost magnetic but painful pull of loving someone who simultaneously caused deep hurt but also fascinated her. It's bewildering.
Yeah.
It's about her hard journey to really understand what it felt like to love, question, break, and then eventually see clearly, as she slowly moves towards reclaiming herself from what she calls the echoes of pain.
It sounds like the book isn't just recounting it, but actively processing it. How does using poetry specifically help her convey that journey? Maybe in a way prose couldn't.
That's a great question, and I think that's where her craft really shines. Poetry, it allows for fragmentation.
Right, little snapshots.
Exactly. Images can stand alone and resonate without needing explicit narrative links. And that mirrors the confusing, fragmented reality of being in a trauma bond.
Where moments don't always connect logically at the time.
Precisely. Individual moments of hurt or hope might not immediately make sense together. So Catherine uses the precision of poetry-specific words, line breaks, rhythm, to distill these huge, complex emotions into potent, raw expressions.
So she doesn't have to spell everything out.
Right. She evokes the feeling of neglect with just an image, or the pull of a false promise with a shift in tone. It makes the experience incredibly immersive. You feel the unraveling with her rather than just reading about it. Makes the internal chaos almost, palpable.
That makes so much sense. And what do you think is Catherine's deepest hope for readers who pick up this really powerful collection?
Her hope, I think, connecting back to her broader goal, is deeply empathetic. She wants readers to walk away feeling seen.
Especially if they're still struggling.
Exactly. Especially if they're still untangling from something that hurt them. She wants you to realize that the confusion, the longing, the pain, it all makes sense in a trauma bond.
That validation must be huge for someone going through it.
Immense. It gives language and understanding to experiences that can feel so isolating, so incomprehensible. It's a powerful reminder that healing isn't, linear.
It's messy.
Ups and downs.
Totally. Moments of clarity, then maybe steps back. But, and this is key, it is always possible.
That hope is crucial.
Yeah. This book really offers a lifeline for anyone navigating toxic relationships or grappling with loss or undergoing transformation. It acts like both a mirror reflecting your own heart and a guide towards reclaiming strength through that often painful but ultimately empowering vulnerability.
Yeah.
Helping you see your own path clearer, even in its messiness.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, because a book this personal, this powerful, it has so many moments that just stick with you.
And without giving anything away, no spoilers here, there's a particular passage that holds incredibly deep meaning for Catherine Anne Castillo herself.
Okay.
It's a statement that really anchors the story's emotional core. A moment of profound self-realization. She writes, "This is my promise, to heal, to learn, to guard the edges of my heart, to refuse the role of casualty in someone else's war.
Wow. Yeah. That line.
Right.
And what's fascinating is why that specific passage stands out so powerfully, not just for her, but for anyone reading it.
What's her take on it?
Catherine interprets it by saying, and this is crucial, you can't be loved by someone who hasn't learned to love themselves.
It hits hard.
Yeah. She says, people become walking projections and their pain and hate spills onto you. That idea of walking projections.
That's insightful. So it's not really about the person receiving it.
Exactly. It means people who haven't dealt with their own stuff often unconsciously project their issues, their insecurities, even their self-hate onto others. Their love or hate isn't really about you.
It's a reflection of them.
Precisely. And Catherine shares that for her, healing meant finally seeing that dynamic clearly, especially after being discarded.
That must have been a turning point.
A huge one. Understanding the pain inflicted wasn't about her worth, but a spillover from someone else's internal struggle. Transformative. So this quote, it just encapsulates the narrative's soul.
A declaration.
Yeah, a powerful declaration of self-preservation.
Right.
Refusing to be defined by someone else's brokenness. And starting that journey towards self-awareness even after deep hurt.
This raises a really important question for all of us, doesn't it? What universal truth does this moment hold? Something that resonates beyond her specific personal experience.
It really does resonate because it speaks to that fundamental human need for boundaries, for self-protection. It's a universal truth that, we can't heal or thrive if we keep letting ourselves be collateral damage in someone else's emotional battles.
And those boundaries.
Right. This passage gives you a framework to think about your own boundaries, your own healing, what it means to protect your heart, your well-being. It's a powerful reminder that even when someone else causes immense pain, your path to reclaiming yourself, to finding peace, that's your responsibility. It's within your power.
Choosing agency over victimhood.
Exactly. Not in a blaming way, but empowering. Recognizing that sometimes the biggest act of love is self-love. And sometimes that means walking away from fights that aren't actually yours.
So what does this all mean then? That lingering feeling when you finish in the Darkness of Shards, when you turn that final page.
The takeaway vibe.
Yeah, the takeaway vibe. It's incredibly powerful, yes. It's raw. And yet, it's also profoundly hopeful.
But not a simplistic hope.
No, exactly. Not a superficial, everything's fine now kind of hope. It's like a hard-won, grounded sense of fortitude.
Yeah, I felt that too.
It leaves you with this quiet strength that comes from witnessing or maybe even undergoing a journey of owning your deepest truth.
Yeah.
Even when healing is still messy, still ongoing.
Right. It's not tied up with a neat bow.
Not at all. Catherine herself describes it beautifully. She says, it stands as a record of my truth and a witness to the reality I faced.
Just witnessing what was.
Yes. And for her, and hopefully for you, the reader, it concludes with this quiet, profound acceptance. In the darkness of shards, it simply is, and that is enough.
Wow. It simply is.
It's a powerful statement of just being, acknowledging what happened, accepting the present moment, flaws and all.
That's really resonant.
So as you reflect on Catherine's incredibly brave journey and her resonant words, maybe we can leave you with this question to ponder for yourself. What truth have you been too scared to say out loud?
Good question. And hey, if you listening are an independent or debut author and you're crafting bold, thoughtful stories, well, we'd absolutely love to hear from you.
Definitely.
Our Indie Ink Spotlight series was built specifically to amplify voices like yours. Voices that might not always find a platform somewhere else.
It's easy to submit, too.
Super easy. Just shoot us an email. The subject line should be Community Exchange. And send it to our inbox. WHTTRpodcast@gmail.com. That's WHETTRpodcast@gmail.com.
We genuinely can't wait to read what you've created.